Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having an amazing Tuesday. So for first, I'm going to give it a couple seconds and I'll explain why I'm wearing glasses. But I want to apologize for the delay. I'm about, for my usual live stream, about 10 minutes late. Um, Took a little bit longer to update my TOS this morning. I'm not too sure if you guys are having the same issue, but I want to talk about a couple of the stocks that are actively trending up, the ones that are showing signs of a reversal. And what I kind of want to keep my eyes out on. So looks like when the market opened, DRIP hit highs of around 750, experienced a little bit of a pullback. And again, this is what we were talking about when DRIP is trading in between the middle and top VWAP. Right now, it's showing signs of potential recovery intraday. I still think it's too early to tell. So around from 7:30, I'm going to set my alert. I want to trade it. Anything that I want to day trade, especially something within a very aggressive descending pattern. I want to make sure that it's trading in between the middle and top VWAP. Does that make sense? So the reason why is that DRIP offers a very strong and descending pattern. So I want to make sure that I don't get in when it continues to descend. So it would make sense on why I would take the precaution, right, of trading it when it's trading in between the middle and top VWAP. So as we've been talking, it's covered about 1.5% margin. It's right around the EMA line. I have my alert set at the middle VWAP, and then we'll just follow up with it as it continues. Same thing with JNEG. JNEG right now is trading in between. It's trying to trade, so it's pulling back right now. Will it bounce on the middle VWAP and then continue to make new highs to the top VWAP, or will it, consolidate at this specific price point? So it offers about a 1.5% margin. Looking at / GC, let's take a look at that. / GC is showing signs of a downward pattern. So because of that, I'm gonna have to stay away right now from JNEG. I did see and get the alert that DGAS started showing signs of an uptrend pattern. I don't even know if I have DGAS as one of the stocks that is actively trending up, but let's check that out. So wow, all the way from, what is that, 20, where did it close at? It closed at around 2240 and opened at about 7.18% higher than when it closed at. That's huge. And this should be above the EMA now. Then yeah. All right, there we go. Showing signs of a huge push up. Again, it does look very overextended, so let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? It is trading in between the middle and top VWAP, so that's definitely attractive. Do you guys see this? How the overall highs is at 2401. That's where I'm going to set my alert. Very quick. When people are looking for day trades, and people always ask me, Ricky, what if it doesn't pull back to either the middle VWAP or the EMA line and it just continues to aggressively uptrend? Then usually what I wait for is for it to break its highs of day. And as of right now, that's around 2401. So once it breaks that, then I would feel that much more comfortable showing that, hey, it's starting to show signs of, an uptrend pattern. I would feel okay with, investing in something like this. And now to explain myself on, I know you guys are probably wondering why it is that um, I'm wearing glasses and stuff like that. Um, I'm actually like really sick. I know I don't look like it. I have an ear infection. I think I might have an eye infection as well. I owe you guys a live stream and I owe YouTube. I went live yesterday at around 12 at midnight yesterday. So I just wanted you guys to know that I still wanted to have my commitment of making these live streams. I want to talk about the stocks that I see value in. I want to talk about the stocks that you guys all see value in. But then I'm gonna continue my medication. So nothing that you guys have to worry about or anything like that. It's just, yeah. Um, let's do this. All right, so DGAS right now is showing signs of a downward pattern. So that means that JNI is trying to push up. Okay. Oh, I didn't talk about it. So you guys must have seen it if you guys saw this, right? But look at my, this is my profits on the day, $460. For those that followed me on, it should be under my trade ideas. For those that followed me, when I said LABD back down to 28.80 like expected for a quick day trade, right? Or back at 28.80, right? when I called out that LABD was consolidating at 28.20, that's when I started to see value in LABD. And again, this was on Friday when I saw it do this double bottom at 28.20. I waited for the break above the EMA. I got in at around 28.30, 28.35. It started to push up. I was so out of the loop on medication on Friday that I did not cover profits. Guys, I can't even explain myself. This is why it's kind of like I thought I had an active position on DGAS. I was speaking to my friends, and then I saw that I was up on LABD. And for those that saw how I closed, I was up about $140 on LABD on when it closed. I was up about $200 when it peaked out. Just due to the swing trade potential that this thing had to offer, obviously it pushed up a little bit more aggressively, and I was able to cover at on the day $460, and altogether about $600 profit, including the profits that I was able to cover on Monday for my LABD position. Okay, what I'm waiting for is to see if this thing can pull back. Do you see my alert right here? If this thing can pull back and bounce right around the SMA indicator, just like it did right before the market closed on Friday. I want to see if I can get pretty close here, and then if we can get a pretty solid push up again, that's about that 1 to 2% that I would kind of be looking for. I have my alert set for drip, a lot of consolidation, a lot of reversal potential showing. That's definitely very attractive. Same thing with USLV. Watch out for DSLV as well. But the silver ETFs have very low volume. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see. Oh, you guys are still talking about maybe. Hang on, appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's totally okay, guys. Like I just have to, I'm behind my computer. I normally wake up at around 6 o'clock anyways, so might as well go live. I just end up drinking a little bit more. What's it called? Uh, I need to be eating a little bit healthier. So yeah, with like all the like ear infections and eye infections I've been getting, stuff like that, it just puts into perspective. Like, yeah, Canes is definitely not doing it every single day, but it's okay. We're having fun and we're still able to trade. We locked in profits, guys, and that's the beautiful thing about it. So, right here, do you guys see this? Double bottom. I'm just setting all my alerts for a potential setup. So let's set those alerts. Again, focus on quality. Don't take a position just based on impulse. Give me one quick second. I have to blow my nose, guys. Sorry about that. All right. I'll actually make this just because I want to see your guys' comments. Let's see. Thank you, Adrian. Let's see. DVAX. All right, a lot of people are calling out DVAX, HTZ, drip pushing up. Let's go ahead and break these down. So LABD just broke below 28.60. We did an amazing job covering profits on that one. So LABD with that solid pullback. Do you guys see this? Right at that SMA line. No confirmation of a bounce just yet. Okay, no confirmation. It's still actively trending down. So no confirmation of an uptrend. This thing can go all the way down to 28.20 for all we know, right? There's no confirmation of an uptrend. One approach that we can take is I can take potentially a small position and then add more to my position as it confirms the uptrend, or I can be a little bit more conservative and wait for the overall reversal itself. So HTZ, some people are saying that it's continuing to descend. We've talked about HTZ already. It's not showing any signs of a reversal. right? Remember, 3 stages in a reversal. The rejection when it downtrends, right, which is where this is at right now. The consolidation where it flatlines, right, where it kind of like stays within the same range for like a couple days or maybe a week. And then the uptrend when it breaks above the EMA line and then continues to uptrend. So to put into perspective, let's take this into consideration. Downtrend, rejection, consolidation, right? Even here, consolidation, because it's not actively uptrending. It's not making higher highs, and it's not making lower highs either. That's the biggest thing, lower highs. And what I mean by that is when it pushes up, pulls back, and it doesn't go as low as it was before. And this is when it started to uptrend, when it started to show this pullback confirmation and then continue riding that EMA line. That's what I would like to see for HTZ. Does it mean that HTZ is not a good buy right now? Not necessarily. It's not breaking below $16 anymore. That's a good sign. But it just, based on opportunity cost, it just wouldn't be worth it for me to take an active position right now, just due to the idea that, you know, especially for a swing trade, maybe a day trade if it has that, you know, the consolidation within that range. Yes, that makes sense, but until then, not really. Jack, no worries. Again, Jack, this is where you can ask any questions, right? Even if it's wrong, or maybe if you just like, I want people to feel encouraged to ask questions, and even if it's not even the most like proper question or anything like that, we're here to answer it, especially during the live stream. I'd much rather you guys ask me questions in this live stream than direct message me later, because it takes a lot longer for me to direct message you back. So yeah. What's going on, Austin? Thank you. You guys are cracking me up. You guys keep saying disregard my last ticker. All right, DVAX. Thank you guys again for bringing this up. You guys did an amazing job, reminding me about this overall pattern. First of all, for those that don't know and that are joining us for the first time, there's this overall ticker, support at $16, resistance at 19. Watch out for the SMA indicator, as that might act as a resistance. Why is it that our team today brought this up to our attention? Look at the amount of people that started talking about DVAX. We talked about this one before, and today it broke above 1650, right? And it started to indicate and show signs of an uptrend pattern, right? Or 1675, I apologize. And broke above the overall price point of about 17 as well, and it's starting to show signs of an uptrend pattern. Looking at it intraday, so it's great. We got the confirmation, on the 180-day chart that it's actively trending up. Now I want to make sure that I get a good deal intraday, and it's trading in between the middle and top view up. First of all, one thing that you should know, a characteristic about DVAX, is that, well, I'm going to add it now to my active uptrend watch list, is that it has pretty low volume. And I have my, I have my watch list set up from volume from top to bottom, right? So the highest volume is from top, lowest volume is from the bottom. At least that's what it should be. Yeah. So with that understanding, as you guys can see, it just pulled back, right? We want to make sure that although it does have that swing trade potential, that we don't buy when it's not a good deal, even intraday, because I'm all about, getting the proper setup and trying to get still the best entry intraday, knowing that it still has that swing trade potential. So something that I like to do is ensuring that I'm getting in when it's actively trending up. Right now, intraday, when it was pushing at around 17.05, you could see that it's a little bit overextended. You could see that the RSI is starting to push back a little bit. I think that this thing has the potential to bounce right around 1685 to maybe around 1680, right? Maybe even around the SMA indicator, right? So that is what maybe we should wait for, a pullback confirmation. Again, be patient. One thing that we talked about quite a while back is the understanding that right before you're about to take a position, if you even consider the idea that you might be getting in too early, wait 10 minutes and see what can happen. So just be patient, wait 10 minutes and see what can happen. And if you see that it actually starts to descend, then you just saved yourself maybe a couple dollars, a couple $100, a couple $1,000, or maybe even just a bad entry. So let's go ahead and follow up with that one in just a bit. So we got LABD still showing signs of a downtrend, and so God, we didn't get in it as of right now. Ticker symbol, what's going on, Kenny Wilson? Twitter, TWTR. Ooh, okay. So your entry, support and resistance, desired entry point, sell point, $33.80 and $38. Okay, so it's definitely pushing up, right? There's no question about that. It has an overall resistance at around $35, right, based on previous patterns, or 36. Looking at it intraday, does this look like a good deal? Look at the huge volume spikes that it's had. Look at this peak formation. If it continues and makes higher highs, I agree. It might be a good time to get in if the momentum is still active. It looks like the volume is starting to die out. I think it does have the potential to break below the EMA line now. Oh. And with that understanding, I also think that it could potentially bounce on the middle view up or the SMA indicator. So that's what I would wait out for. I think that it is consolidating and might show signs of a pullback. And if not, then just make sure you set those alerts for a push up. Look at the RSI, look at the MACD indicator. Everything's indicating, and look at the pattern itself, showing signs of a peak formation. Does that make sense, Kenny, on why I would potentially think that it can pull back and reverse? But look, it's doing a very good job holding right around this price point. So it 100% can bounce here and then continue to push up. So that's why I would wait for a break of high of day or something like that, or an overall pullback confirmation. So great call out. So let's kind of let that LABD be you. I think that this thing can hit highs of $91. I think this thing can hit lows of 28.20. I'm gonna try to wait for a get entry again. I am not in anything as of right now. I just sold my position. I had a 1-day swing trade position, and that was an LABD. I was up $140 on that swing trade on Friday, and then I closed $460 today. So total of $600 profit within one day swing trade. Boom. Diaz just made highs of day. Why is it not here? Diaz is killing it. Diaz is doing a very good job, and again, this is a perfect example of a stock that breaks highs of day and then continues to run, especially when the momentum is there. It's a little bit overextended for my taste, and I am 100% missing out on some opportunity, but I just don't feel comfortable taking that position. And that's that. Guys, you guys have to understand, if you overwhelm yourself with wow, I saw Diaz and it pushed up and I'm missing out on this trade. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of stocks that are currently making tens of just 20 and 30% growth as we speak right now. And you're not able to take advantage of them because you're not exposed to them, right? Don't overwhelm yourself for something that you do not feel comfortable investing in, or as of right now, maybe that you do not understand. One of the best positions that you can take is not taking one at all. There's no question that looking at something like Diaz, it looks way overextended, right? A majority of the margin that Diaz has made today, right, all this margin is overnight, right? There is some margin that, if you bought, let's say at the break, you would have been up about maybe about 1%. Don't overwhelm yourself for something that you cannot control. Be patient, wait for a good entry, and if you don't get that entry, then simply don't take the position. There we go. Now, because it's so oversold, I'm going to wait a little bit more for a confirmation. So what I'm going to do, guys, is my normal position on something like LABD is about 1,000 shares, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do with my hotkeys, right? So I do options buy, edit, and then I can simply go here and I can click, I want to buy 1,000, oh shoot, not 1,000, 500 shares. And I want to do that with a limit order. I want to get as close to as an overall support as I can, and I don't know if it's actually going to hit it, so I could always move it back up. So I'm going to put it at 28.20, right? 28.20 limit, and again, this is as an intraday play. There we go, coming down, right? 28.20 limit order, 500 shares buy. I'm going to send it, and there we go. All right, LABD just broke below 28.25. We can see that the RSI is getting very close to the overall RSI. And what my plan is very quickly, because I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to add my second position while we're in the live stream, but for all those that are watching, what my plan is for LABD is I'm trying to buy some of the shares at where I think the bottom is, right, based on the patterns on Friday, right? So me taking a position at 20.20, let's say it even goes down to $28, right? I bought it at 28.20. So that's my current average. What I'm going to wait for is for this overall reversal. And then when it starts to, wow. And then when it starts to show signs of this overall reversal pattern, then that's when when it breaks again above the intraday EMA, then that's when I can add more to my position. So does that make sense? I buy at the bottom with a portion of my account as a day trade, and then I add more to my position as it confirms the overall uptrend. DS just broke above, and so did Twitter. Twitter just made new highs. DS just made new highs. I'm going to have to move this. So the really cool thing about this is when you have your TOS set up. No. I clicked. It's a command, so it's like options buy. It's not. I'm not buying any options though. I'm sorry. I know that was kind of confusing for those that probably. Do you guys see this reversal that it's showing? So, Kyle, for a swing trade, yes, it would make sense more to get the overall confirmation. But based on my understanding of LABD and the day trade potential that I have, and knowing when it's like overbought or oversold and stuff like that, I feel comfortable taking a portion of my position now and then adding more to my position later. Even right now, I might not even get filled, and that's why I put it so low. It's starting to show signs of an uptrend, and it's right about to break above the EMA indicator, which is showing signs of an uptrend. That's great, and I potentially run the risk of not getting filled. So let's see what happens. My limit order right now is at around 28.33. Yeah, what's going on, Matt? So if you watch the beginning of the video, I explained why. But yeah, what's going on, brother? All right. Let's check it out. MACD indicator starting to curve back in. RSI starting to point back up. It's showing a good reversal indication for LABD. So we'll see what happens. I actually don't think I'm going to get filled. Oh, okay. I spoke too soon. So filled at 28.33. Where are you looking to exit? So yeah, it's going to be the same thing. So that's why I broke it down. Do you see? Yeah, even the highs at around Friday, it had highs at about $29, and that's where I ended up selling today. I ended up selling at 28.99, just to be exact. So right here, overall resistance, right, intraday that I see, and overall support was at around 28.20, and that's why I had my original limit buy at around that price point. Right now, you can see that it's still trending below the EMA, right? So I'm taking the risk. I'm taking a risk of getting in before the confirmation, and I know that. So I run the risk of investing in something that's still actively trending down. The reason that I did that is due to the understanding that it's so oversold that based on previous patterns, it makes sense on why it would potentially bounce around here. But again, I'm going based on previous patterns, and there's a huge form of risk with that. What's going on, John? You guys are hilarious. I'm going to set my alert for both top and bottom. I plan to take my other 500 shares once we break above the EMA line, and then we can continue from there. So Ricky or Daniel's asking, when would I cut losses? When there's a break of pattern. So based on the pattern that I saw value in, the overall support was right around this price point, and I think that it could still even hit lows of around $28, and that pattern would still be relevant. Looking at the overall 180-day EMA line, it's just showing signs of a lot of consolidation, right? And I know that it can move within that area. So that's why my position also, my initial position isn't very aggressive, right? Well, it isn't my 100% position. So because of that, if I do end up cutting losses at around this price point, it would be half of what I normally would be risking. Does that make sense? Yeah. Brandon, sounds good. All right, let me go ahead and break down these tickers for you guys. So AMKR, this is by our buddy Junie. So showing signs of an uptrend pattern, no question about that. Watch out for the overall resistance around the SMA indicator. EMA line is definitely pushing up. I see this to be a much better buy closer to the EMA indicator, which it tends to pull back on. So you can see when it's overextended, and you can see when it pulls back, right? Definitely right now it looks a little bit overextended. I would wait a little bit more for a pullback. That's something that I would feel a little bit more comfortable with, and it's within the characteristic of the specific ticker itself. So great call out. I would just like to wait for a little bit of a pullback. So Tesla, again, right now, so for so LABD just broke above 28.44. Real quick, I'm going to break this down. Tesla is in the consolidation phase. 3 signs of a reversal: rejection, consolidation, and then confirmation. Look at the direction of the EMA line. It's not pointing up just yet. We have to give it more time. I think that until it hits even highs of 285, it'll push that high and then pull back and be around this area. So again, I would like to wait for a little bit more of a confirmation. There we go. All right. So, and I'm not up a full 520 just on this position itself. I mean, just on my entry right now. I'm up, well, I was up 460, so I'm up 500 now. So I'm up about $62 on this specific, like, actually, like, on the position that I just took. Does that make sense? Because I had a 1-day swing trade. I took it on Friday, and I bought it at around 28.30, and today I sold at 28.99 during pre-market hours. So, yeah. I want to wait a little bit more for a confirmation before I take my next position. What's up, Muhammad? Whoop, whoop. Yeah, so me and Muhammad are going to be going live on my Instagram page. So if you guys don't follow me, Muhammad has a question about this car that he's thinking about buying. And he has a series of questions that he wants to ask me. So I thought it would be an amazing thing to go live on Instagram where everyone can tune in. And while he asks me that questions, I hope that others can learn something new as well. So I'm just going to get my order ready now. So I'm going to do, again, getting ready for the other 500 shares. So I'm going to put this is something that I do from time to time. I'm going to put my limit order at 28.39. It's not going to get filled at that price when it's not supposed to. So I'm putting my limit order at this price point. I want to wait a little bit more for a confirmation. I'm going to even move it a little bit lower. Oh my goodness. I did it too late. So did you guys see that? The whole point of that was, wow, that is not a good example. I put my limit order way too close to where the price point was at. And normally what I do is I have my limit order like way down here where it's most likely not going to get filled at. And then I drag it up and I click it when it gets the confirmation. So I could see, does that make sense? So like if I see that, all right, it broke above 28.50, I put my limit order there, I drag and click it, and then drop it when I see that the price point when there's sellers at 28.50, and then I buy, right? I put it in way too close to where I didn't actually think I was that close. Wow. Um, Hopefully that doesn't end up biting me in the butt, but we'll see. So, and the reason that I did not want to do that, and again, that's a mistake that I just made right now. Um, the reason that I did not want to do that is because of right now it's in the consolidation phase. I wanted it to break around 28.50 and really start showing signs of an uptrend. So right now it's pushing up and it broke above the EMA line. That's great, but I wanted to start breaking resistance levels, and that's much more attractive to me. So we're up right now, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, it doesn't mean that it can't continue to pull back. So a very common pattern is where it pushes down, touches, consolidates at the EMA line, and then continues to descend, right? And that's what I want to avoid. And that's why I wanted to wait for more of a solid resistance. So, yeah, I've never been on no, I can't say I've never been on so much medication, but I've never been on so many different forms of medication, like for my eyes, for my ears, just for my congestion. It sucks. It definitely sucks when you're feeling sick. I'll show you guys for all those that want to see, like my eyes and stuff, like after the live stream, how it looks very quickly. 100% Del Sol, I agree. So I know that sucks for you, but it's nice to see live mistakes. 100%. And that's what it's all about, right? For you guys to learn from my mistakes so you guys don't have to repeat them yourself. The reason that Evan, the reason that I don't use a stop loss, especially for something like LABD or something like that, is it's not a very aggressive moving stock or ETF, and I don't want to end up selling at the very bottom. And that's something that I've noticed. I've with almost every single ETF that I've traded this year, um, it's I haven't used a stop loss, and it was a new strategy that not even a strategy. I don't even know what you guys want to call it. It's just a new like style that I started trying to trying to implement when it comes down to like instead of using a stop loss, I'm gonna focus when there's a break of pattern when the first pattern that I first saw valuing is no longer relevant, and then when that's broken, I can cut losses because I can make that judgment there. And it's helped me out a lot because sometimes it does pull back pretty aggressively, but because I know that value is still there, then I'm okay. So right now, what the heck? Did you guys see that it broke down to like $417? That was weird. All right, so we got the confirmation. So I'm at my entry at 28.39 for my second position. Ended up really working out pretty well. My first entry was right around 28.33. So my average entry is 28.36. So that makes sense, right? My ideal exit is around $29. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get ready for the sell, right? 1,000 shares, limit order. $1,000 shares LABD ETF 299 28.99 because I see a resistance at around $29. That's exactly where I sold earlier today. And yeah, limit order at 28.99, and then it's good till the end of the day. And then it's right here. So for whatever reason, as this thing is pushing up, if I see it get rejected or I automatically want to sell, or even if I want to move it higher, I'm able just to drag and click it, right? But I don't want to do that. So all right. There we go. So I'm up 240 on my initial position as of this second one. So do you guys see this consolidation in between the middle VWAP showing signs of a rejection? Appreciate that. Is this your first time tuning in? Whoa! Break. There we go. Is this your first time tuning in? So you're saying that I like the morning live chat a lot because it shows you're showing your trades in detail as you make them. 100%. And sometimes I make some very dingleberry mistakes, and the group absolutely just laughs at me. So, but yeah, that's what it's all about. Did I just take a selfie? I did not. No, I'm checking my trader app on my phone as it um, like what I'm up on the day. This helps more than anything, even your mistakes. Appreciate that. Happy to hear that. You guys cracked me up. Did one of your roommates prank you and fart on your pillow? No, Kenny. You guys are hilarious. Did Ricky talk about drip? Yeah, I did talk about drip. We've already broken that one down. So we're waiting for the break above the middle VWAP because we wanted to show signs of an uptrend pattern. So that's what we're waiting out for. JNUG definitely did very well. Kind of like what we expected when it broke above the middle VWAP. Watch out for that, for the resistance on the top VWAP. I would actually still treat this as a day trade though. And then what was another one that you guys were calling out? That we talked about was DGAS. So DGAS again pushed up, hit highs of 2020, pulling back, and it's most likely going to try to bounce. It makes sense on why it would bounce here around $24. Again, old resistance levels become new support levels. Do you guys see that? The pre-market resistance becomes the new support. I don't know why your thing got rejected, Scott. I apologize. Yeah, let's follow up with that. I'm just going to set my alerts as this thing pushes up. So overall on the day, including my one-day swing trade position and what I've opened up today, it's $760 profit so far. And again, I did cover my $160 profit that I didn't talk about on Friday. So altogether, that's about $900. But I haven't covered on this yet, so it doesn't really count. Sweet. So you guys are talking about DVAX. So just like we expected, DVAX pulled back, now consolidating, right, at a much nicer price point, and now we wait for the confirmation. Let's set those alerts and follow up with it for a much better entry. Why is this ideal? Because again, and this is a perfect example. Look at look at the MACD, right, on the R side. It looks like a great entry intraday, but not even that. It's because of this. The reason that we find this to be so attractive is because DVAX with the swing trade potential, it confirmed the uptrend today. It's pulling back, and that's when I see the most value. But it's when it confirms the bounce and the continuous uptrend that I see the most value. So we confirm that, hey, this might be a good entry for a swing trade. So then we look at it intraday, and we try to get in for a good entry there. If it continues to descend and bleed, might not be the best entry. But then if it starts to reverse intraday, then at least you know that you're good for a day trade if you wanted to, and even a swing trade. So it's like the best of both worlds. I feel like Hannah Montana when I said that. Sweet. Happy to hear that, Don. Woo woo. All right, there's a couple call outs. BNet. BNet had a random sell-off all the way down to 540. That's scary, especially for all those that maybe had a stop loss during extended hours. But yeah, BNet is still trying to show signs of an uptrend pattern. Again, overall resistance right around that 650, 655 price point, and that's why I have my alert set up there, just because it's been consolidating for too long. I want to catch it when it's aggressively, actively trending up. So yeah, watch out for this descending SMA that might act as a resistance. So we got LABD pulling back a little bit, showing signs of a potential peak formation. Do you guys see this? So pulling back, let's see what happens here. So, oh man, I'm sorry. You told me to break something down and I did not. I really do apologize. I think it was AMAT, right? Yeah, I think it might have been that. So AMAT definitely was actively trending up pretty aggressively. And even right now, it is trending up pretty aggressively. I don't find that to be the best entry, though. It does look a little bit overextended, especially with that descending SMA that acts as a resistance. I'd find it to be a much better buy around $50 to $51, and to be able to sell at that price. And even then, the margin's not even that great. Whoa, LABD is pulling back. There it goes, and it's definitely selling off. All right. Let's see. What's going on, Glenn? Ooh, ooh. FBIO. Let's go ahead and break down 5 stocks. So the first 5, again, they have to be actively trending up and showing signs of a decent margin. And please, no descending patterns. Please, please, please. So this makes sense. Overall, right now, support at around $3.40. It's too early to tell. Again, 3 stages in a reversal. Right now, it's definitely not at that price point. And it looks like I have my alert set already for the break above 380 for more of a confirmation of a reversal. So that's kind of what I would wait out for as well. I still think that pattern is still relevant. So next one is ticker symbol VIRT. VIRT. Showing more signs of a peak formation. I don't think that this would be or make a great buy. Overall resistance now instead of a support with this SMA indicator. Yes, it does show potential for an uptrend. It's a little bit different. It's not my style, especially with this very aggressive sell-off. But it makes sense on why it can, cover this margin. So it's just I'll keep a very close eye for a break of pattern below the EMA line. Ooh, Twitter pulling back. RAD. I actually had a couple people ask me about RAD, I think, in the direct messages. But RAD is starting to show signs of a potential uptrend. I personally don't like the pattern anymore. This is Rite Aid, showing very slow upward staircase pattern with some form of random pushes up. So it would make sense on why it would almost bounce you right around the EMA line, SMA line. I'm sorry, the green line that you see right here. But it's still actively trending below the EMA line. So maybe that could be a confirmation that we could wait for, following up with that. Sweet, Brian, super happy to hear that. So I just became a member of the Learn Plan Profit yesterday, and so happy that I made the investment. This video is super helpful, and to hear what it is that's going on in real time, I think. Appreciate that. Thank you. AMKR. Let's do one more. AMKR, okay, so again, showing signs of an uptrend, descending overall resistance. I would like to, again, and it has a very consistent uptrend pattern, and it pulls back. It definitely pulls back, and that's within the characteristic of this specific ticker, so I don't find that to be far-fetched for this to pull back at around that price point. LABD is back. It did receive that little pullback, and it was kind of like, oh, there it goes. I spoke too soon. I have all my alerts set though, so I'm good. All right. Would you consider moving your stop to break even? Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with me covering profits at the price point that I'm at right now. I mean, I was up 460, and now I'm up. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad, you know, decision to make. but I think that it does have the potential to continue. I just need to give it a little bit more time. Um, I mean, if you look at the overall characteristic of LABD, I've traded it before. Maybe, I'm sorry, I didn't even speak about that. It has a very like wavy, like uh, just characteristic about it. Like it doesn't just really aggressively like staircase up. Sometimes it takes some time for it to get to the price point that you might want it to, and it takes a while for it to consolidate and push up. So, but yeah, I totally understand why this might be like a little iffy for some people, especially with the overall, like it does make sense on why it's kind of peaking out here at around 28.70. Now thinking a little bit more about it, because of the resistance it also had on Friday. Do you guys see that? Right here. So it makes sense. Definitely makes sense. It's not far-fetched. All right. So ticker symbol WING. As of right now, this might be a good entry for a swing trade, but it's not actively trading up right now. So it would be more of that dip by potential. So I would not go in with 100% of your position. That's the only thing. For a day trade, yes, it did just break above the middle view up, but I wouldn't really treat this one as a day trade. The margin I don't think is really necessarily there. That's funny. AOI. All right, this is the last one. Well, as long as it's not actively trending now. Now this is a decent one. So showing signs of an uptrend pattern, overall SMA line as a potential resistance. It has this margin to capitalize on, right? So a little bit, what is that? That's about 20%. And watch out for this earnings report. So again, try to become familiar with the characteristic of this specific stock. So when it was actively trading up, what did it show? And you guys could see that. You guys could see that when it was actively pushing up, it makes sense on why it reacts very well with the EMA indicator. So because of that, as it pushes up, we want to make sure that it continues that pattern. And if it breaks that pattern, then we need to take that into consideration on when to cut losses or when to cover profits. Hope that makes sense. So again, we want to see a continuous upward staircase pattern, and it is going to pull back, but as long as those pullbacks make lower highs, right? Just like it did last time. So when it pulls back and it just doesn't go as low as it did before, and it continues to push back, pulls back, doesn't go as low as it did before. Again, all that's good stuff. So good call out. Just became a member today. Oh, yesterday. And I'm happy to join. I've been watching you on YouTube for a while. Sweet. Really happy to hear that, guys. And again, one thing that I want you guys to know is if you guys did just join, a couple days ago or, yesterday or today, just be sure, I really need to encourage you guys just for the sake of our overall group to make sure that you complete the entire course if that's not too much to ask. Let that be your almost like sole focus, if that makes sense. I would also encourage you to start paper trading or simulation trading. We have a brokerage list. So if you guys make your way on over to the Start Here section, please read all this, and then please read everything in the announcement section. Everything is provided for you here. Here we go. $800 on the day. I like it. So LABD, on my last 2 days of trading LABD, I've $960 because it was 160 on Friday with that 1 day swing trade position. So pretty solid. Again, showing signs of an upward pattern. I like it. And I don't want to be greedy. And you guys really made it clear to me today that maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to cover profits at around this price point. And I want to kind of see where it's at. So where's our level 2 at? Let's check it out. Yep, definitely most likely going to pull back. You can see the sellers pulling back a little bit. KEM. So KEM I still think is in the consolidation phase. I have my alert set at 19, and that's more when I think it's going to be aggressively moving up. I think that's a good call out, Mohammed. I would like to wait a little bit more if that's okay. Yep. Oh, so Mike is asking, if there is a scan, whoa, we gotta push up. There we go. Let's see. One quick second, Mr. Mike. So is there a scan to find a ticker that has the MACD uptrending on multiple time frames for it? I'm sure there is. There's not one that I am aware of. For this, it would be a certain steady filter. So it would be like at a certain price point for, or a certain number for the MACD, if that makes sense. So you can see that there's different ranges within the MACD, and you need to set it at a certain price point. I would call TD Ameritrade. I would call TD Ameritrade and ask to speak to their trade desk and see if you could speak to one of them and potentially ask about that specific indicator and stuff like that. So there we go. $990. Can we break $1,000 on the day? I think it's going to be time for the money dance. Here we go. Pulling back. Pulling back. Okay, so this is a good question. So Naka is asking, is there a reason why my limit, why my limit sells and buys are going through before they even touch the price point? What just happened? Oh, there we go, $1,000 on the day. So the reason might be is because of your, make sure you have access to level 2. And that's something that we've talked about because you want to take into consideration buyers and sellers, right? And if the spread is too wide, I'm about to sell right now. First of all, my limit order is at $28.99. When the spread is too wide, then although the price point might be saying that it's at a certain price point, when you put your limit order to buy, there might be sellers already at that price point. And that's something that you want to take into consideration. I want to sell. Boom! Money. All right, guys, and that is it for today. Wait, did I sell? No, it sold 2 shares. What? Look. That is ridiculous. It sold. Who bought 2 shares? I guess it makes sense, but gee willikers. Level 2. Where are there buyers? Where are there sellers? Boom. And I wanted, again, the reason that I sold at the price point that I did, there we go. So 11,090. That was fun. Okay, Google. The Google thing isn't working anymore. All right, there we go. And the reason that I sold at this price point, this is my second time today selling at $28.99, and I 100% could have sold way too early. It does have potential based on pre-market highs to hit highs of $29.20. I didn't want to risk it. It made sense for me to sell at that price point. And you guys saw it all. You guys saw my entry, why it is that I entered. You guys saw my exit, why it is that I exited. And that's the most important part. So it's nice for the dollar value that I made, first of all. For those that are going to ask what the percentage growth for my profits today was, if you guys see, if you guys noticed, my first entry was at 28.33, and my second entry was at 28.39 by accident, actually. So with that understanding, my average was 28.36, and I sold at 28.99. That's 2.23%, which accumulated to a little bit over, with 1,000 shares, $1,090. So that means I almost made, no. Oh, perfect. Again, don't be greedy. cover profits. And the whole point of being completely honest and just being completely like transparent, there just have a reason. If you're looking at indicators, have a reason for every action that you take. That's something that I've asked you guys. That you don't just trade on impulse. That there's a reason that you're buying, and that there's an indication, or there's some form of indicator or pattern that you are looking at on why it is that you're buying. And if it makes sense, great. At least you're going based off of that. And if it doesn't make sense, then why are you taking that position? Easiest way that I can put it. So show your eye before I leave. So first of all, for those that are just tuning in right now, I have an ear infection, I have an eye infection, I have allergies, and I owe you guys a live stream. I owe the people within TechPod Solutions a live stream as well for the YouTube as well. And I was feeling a little bit under the weather. Obviously, it was worth it. Made a little bit over $1,000 profit on the day, and it just shows you that like even when you're sick, it doesn't even matter. Like when people make all these like excuses of like, oh, you can trade from I love it though, right? That you can travel and trade, and you can definitely do that. But they sell you on the dream of traveling and trading, and that's not something that I want to do. If I'm gonna like have you guys hope for something, it's for the desire to understand patterns, because it's with those understanding of the patterns that will get you to a point where you can make money from anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection and access to an internet device, right? Or to your TOS or whatever platform you use. So be less focused on these like amazing lifestyles. I honestly hate traveling and trading because it doesn't let me focus, and I don't have my computer, I don't have my little trading area. But what I do love about this is that when you do understand patterns and you do understand when you're getting a good deal, that you're able to take advantage of it and you could sell it for a profit. That's the beauty of this. And regardless if you're sick, regardless if you're a little under the weather, that's a really beautiful thing about this. And that's why I like to focus on patterns and focus on good deals. And if you guys saw the entire video, again, for those that are tuning in for the first time and want to review this, we have this morning chat library where every morning when I go live, everything is posted here. And you guys can go back as far as, from when we started. They're about an hour long each one, so have fun. But it's a little library for the live chats that we have. So that is pretty much it. Please, if you just got started, visit the Start Here section and read everything. So you know how the group is ran, and the announcement section to make sure that you read everything. Make sure that you complete the entire course before you start asking a bunch of questions if possible. We're here to assist you. Please message Justin if you have any questions on how to access your affiliate links. Again, please message Justin. So what you can simply do is he just posted in the announcement section. You guys could click here and just click message. And then you could be like, Dingleberry. Just kidding. Be nice. But yeah. So that is really just it. What? You're getting an ear infection. It would be best to lay off the dairy, also known as chocolate milk. Oh, shut up. Are you serious? I've been drinking milk like no other. I drank so much chocolate milk yesterday. And cereal. All right. Wow. I honestly, all right. I look so bad right now, and I really do apologize for I look like I'm on vacation and super exhausted. So, traded, gosh, I prefer also excited. Perfect. I like that. That's super. That's amazing to hear, Jack. So again, Daniel, the whole point of me talking about Tesla, of it pushing up and pulling back, is the idea that it's going to take time for it to consolidate. It might even take a couple days. It might be at 25 all day one day, and then it'll pull back, and then it'll push back up. And again, the whole purpose is to understand that the big picture pattern on the 180-day chart is showing signs of this curling pattern. And I can guarantee you that even if Tesla pushes up to highs of, what is it at? Even 290, that EMA line will not push up that aggressively. It takes time. So that's why I said just take a step back and give it time. If you don't feel comfortable and you want to enter, do as you please, 100%. Yeah. It would also be good to get at least 8 hours of sleep. Yeah, I know that the 4 hours of sleep aren't cutting it anymore. So appreciate that. Thank you again, Justin. Justin, I really appreciate that. I was still in party mode from yesterday. I was not partying. No, not at all. I was actually at Justin's family's place because his parents are from Arizona. My parents actually just got back from the Europe trip, and my dad called me yesterday, so that was pretty cool. Happy to hear that they got back home safe. Drip is pushing right back up again. Ooh, drip. Let's follow up with that. Let's do that, and then I'll outro. Okay. JNUG in between middle and top VWAP. I don't know how I feel about that. DGAS, I think it's way on the overbought side. I think that, yeah, I think it's way on the overbought side. I don't know. It's too overextended for my taste. USLV again in between the middle and top VWAP. UGAS again trying to perform that double bottom, but again not doing anything, not showing any signs of an uptrend pattern either. So I'm going to set those alerts there and then revisit that. TMUS. I'm thinking of just selling my position that I have in my Fidelity account. It's just a waste of time as of right now. It's consolidating for too long. JDST actively trending down. DVAX still pulling back. Wasn't that just LABD? Crap. We did a good job with that exit. MB. Must be nice. Okay, MB showing signs of an uptrend pattern. Definitely pushing up. I would still like to wait a little bit more for confirmation. So, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize. Let me run through it one more time. So, JNUG in between middle and top VWAP, right? Showing signs of a potential bounce. What the heck? Shut up. Did you guys just see that? Oh, that huge push up? I guess it's overextended now. That was ridiculous. DGAS, in my opinion, is a little bit overextended. I don't like that pattern too much. I don't find it to be a good deal, to put it into perspective. It looks like the middle VWAP is just about to get rejected, so watch out for that. USLV pushing up, hitting highs of that top VWAP. JDST, DVAX swing. Yeah. No, so as of right now, the ones that I would see the most value in as a potential day trade. Wow. What the heck? How does /GC look? Wow. Okay. JNEG is trying to make a comeback. Okay, it's definitely overextended, right? There's no question about that. But maybe when it pulls back a little bit more, then it would be a little bit of a better buy. So I like the setup on JNUG now. And then for DRIP, as a day trade, maybe when it breaks above 730 or it starts to trade in between the middle and top VWAP, that's kind of what I would look out for. I want to see DGAS start to get rejected. That's what I would like to see. And to start pulling back and then focus on UGAS. Just because I find UGAS to be a much better deal as of now, but DGAS is not showing any signs of a reversal. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Solid. Level 2 is super helpful. I agree. Again, let's just keep it simple. Let's focus on the good deal and kind of go from there. So, all right, guys. And then for all those that wanted to see, yeah, there we go. All right, guys. Hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your day. Continue working hard. Continue following dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. WLDN. Let me switch my screen real quick. Very low volume, though. Just broke above the resistance of $28. Um, yeah, still a little bit too early to tell, but it's nice to get that confirmation as of right now. So that's solid. All right, guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to direct message me if you have any questions, or Justin if it's based on your affiliate or your overall Teachable account. But yeah, thank you guys again for everything that you guys do. I'm going to go ahead and take my medication and go from there. So thank you guys again for all the support. Again, $1,000 day. I think it was 1,090 altogether. And yeah, let's keep it simple. Let's focus on getting the good deal, and let's go from there. All right, guys. The money dance. Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I'm just not totally feeling it right now. Hopefully, I can get some rest, and then I'll come back with the money dance with you guys. So, like always, guys, continue working hard, continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.